It's been a little while since we last caught up, so hi, hello, if you're new here, my name is Ev, and I like to knit and talk about all things knitting on this channel. And the reason why I've kind of skipped, I think it was last week, and maybe this week, maybe 2 weeks, was because my parents have been visiting me for the last couple of days. But also I made a mistake and I accidentally shot over an hour of video in slow motion and there's no audio and it was just a disaster. So I just thought, you know what? Let's take a little break and now I'm back. So hi, hello. I thought that a good way to be back and get back into the knitting world would be to do a how much can I knit in a week? And I am hoping that this is going to be more of a realistic challenge instead of a how much can I produce, just realistically with a 40-hour week job, how much can I knit in a week? And in case you haven't noticed, I did finish knitting the cardigan number 9 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. I've been wearing it non-stop and I got the buttons on and I absolutely love it. Okay, so clearly my button skills need to be worked on because to be fair, I've been wearing this cardigan. I've probably worn it like 4 or 5 times already, like full days. So where's my needle? I just put my mic on my towel rack really quickly because I did want to show you guys before we get into the knitting. My mom came over and brought me this cute little, it's a peperomia hope and it lives in a cute little head. That is now my new little centerpiece. Also, look at this. Can you? I don't want to disturb it too much, but my monstera now is, I think that's the biggest leaf it's ever produced and it's growing another leaf on the other side. So I'm very happy, very proud of her or him or whatever this plant is. And finally, this was my Alocasia Loter Banchinaya. It's also known as an alocasia purple sword. After probably a year in this house, it is growing a new leaf. It kept growing last summer towards the end, flowers. And I saw online that when it grows flowers, you have to cut them off because it takes so much energy to grow a flower that it can potentially kill the plant. So, and also the flowers aren't pretty, they're just ugly sticks with a little tuft. So yeah, I've just been cutting them and hoping for a new leaf and finally. And then I also saw that when one leaf grows, another one dies. So I have some leftover thread. Basically, I've kind of just been putting all of my odds and ends and just spare little parts, especially with spinning, some little fibers that just I break off or don't end up spinning too well. I just shove it all in this one bag in hopes to use it as stuffing. I clearly won't have enough. It's full, but I won't have enough for the emotional support chicken. But my goal would be to save it up, use it for spinning, or not spinning, for stuffing. Because if I keep making like Christmas ornaments last year or teddies or pillows and I keep knitting, I don't like throwing away. I feel bad throwing it away. So I think if I start saving them and potentially use it as stuffing, why not? Why not? The button is now sewn on. See, like right now, like this little piece. I can't knit with this. What am I gonna do with it? Tonight's dinner is a poke bowl from downstairs. Yeah, I'm gonna have to eat pretty quickly because it is now 5:30 and I have a knitting meetup and it takes me a little bit to get there. It's at 6:30. See if I can make it. Recently, I've been really wanting to connect with a few knitting people and I've discovered that in Vancouver there are a couple, in and around Vancouver, there are a couple knitting groups where people meet up. It's 2 hours and it's once a month and it's a lot of fun. So I've been trying out different groups to see which one might be my go-to or which one I'll go to more if I keep going. Just like testing out the waters, but so far it's been a lot of fun. I've only been to 2 meetings and the pattern that I think I'm gonna be bringing today is the Felice Blouse. Now this is a pattern. Let's see if I can But this is a pattern that I have mentioned in another video. I think it was my plans for 2024? But I have mentioned this pattern before. Actually, this dates back to last fall because I bought this yarn at Knit City in hopes to knit this sweater up. It's kind of like a mohair only sweater, but it's meant to be a layover piece. And I loved that. That is pretty much why I got it. After knitting my novice cardigan by Petite Knit, mohair only knits, I like the look of them, but then I've also realized that I really, really enjoy them when you can wear it over a shirt or something. So basically, I now have 2 swatches, but these are supposed to be the front shoulders. And this is what it looks like. It's kind of like a lace with yarn overs and knit twos together and some ribbing bars, and then it's supposed to look like this. It's originally a Japanese pattern that was translated into English, and I think in Korean. Is it Korean? There's 3 different languages: English, Japanese, the original, and then something else. It is one of the only shirts that I'm working up right now. I am currently trying to figure out which summer knit to cast on because June is the end of the week. It's already June. I'm going to Italy and London at the end of June. And of course I would love to have a shirt for then, but it's just I am torn and turning in circles between what to knit, what to bring for that trip. But for now, I need to eat and I need to head out the door. Okay, so good morning. It is now Tuesday morning, and last night was the knitting meetup, which was a lot of fun. I think that this was my second time at this particular one. There are a couple different ones. I might have mentioned this already. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, a lot of chatting, meeting new people. I think it went well. I don't know. I tend to be someone who sits down very quietly, so because I get very nervous. But anyways, I did bring my blouse. After sitting down, taking out my tablet, jotting down some notes, figuring out where I left off, I realized that I would need to start working on increases and continue the pattern design. And I was trying to do so, but then I quickly realized that that would be a little bit hard if I wanted to talk to new people, especially. So I didn't continue. I put this one on the side and I just picked up a different pattern, which I was so happy. At first I wasn't sure if I would need to bring 2 different knits, but I'm really glad I did because the second one I brought was a big success over there. It's this beautiful little sock that I'm currently knitting on. Well, I'm making the second one. I feel like I've been working on these socks now for possibly 2 months. It's just like a side project that I bring with me to appointments and little trips and stuff because socks are great on-the-go project. And the ones that I'm working on are the socks that were in the label on Ravelry. You can find a free English version because I think, is it in Danish? Is it in German? The label is in a foreign language on the inside, and this is Opal sock yarn, but this is the Van Gogh collection. And this is based off one of his paintings. There's a couple different paintings. And so far I've enjoyed the Opal yarn a lot. I haven't worn these yet and I haven't knit with this yarn before, but I did make socks with the Regia sock, which is also a similar self-striping yarn base. And I think it has the same virgin wool to nylon ratio as this one. And it worked up really well. Because this isn't a superwash, it is a little bit more itchy. Well, not itchy, it's just a little bit more rough, a little more rustic. It's a wool, but on the feet it feels really great, especially once washed, and I prefer the look of wool over superwash. Superwash looks a little too shiny to me, although recently I have been able to find some superwash that don't have that shiny look, so I love it. So yesterday I did manage to knit I think from the red. So I knit the little blue portion of the leg and then worked on my heel. So this is going to be a gusset heel. So it's a toe down sock. So then I'm going to have to do the gusset turn and then connect it, do the little round, do the leg, and then do the toe. This is my preferred method of doing socks. There were actually a couple people yesterday knitting up socks. A few of them were toe up socks, which is because I have the 52 weeks of socks books. I have tried to knit socks toe up, but for some weird reason they end up really, really tight at the foot and they're not that comfy. So I think my preferred method is toe down, heel, cuff down. And then after that I came home because I still wanted to knit. Recently I've casted on the Emotional Support Chicken by Annette Corsino. I don't know if this is, it's in USD, so I'm assuming it's Annette Corsino. I'm assuming. You know what they say about assuming. I don't know. So this is how far I am. This is a really flat chicken right now. I'm wearing the same green as my chicken butt. But this is what my chicken looks like. I just finished the head yesterday night, actually. So here, I can't wait to finish it and sew it up. I'm actually at the portion where you can work up the beak. Then there's gonna be the little red here and the red here. I think there's like a belly flap and then it's just like stuffing. I need to go get stuffing. I don't have any. I have a basket here with like odds ends, just leftover skeins from projects, things I don't really know what to do with. It's basically just yarns that I've used up but haven't fully used up. And I guess it's my stash, not my stash, it's my, okay, well I'm blanking, but anyways, it's all yarn that I don't know what to do with that I've used for different projects. So for this one, I'm holding 2 strands. This one is for the tail, I combined this knit crate yarn with this little hobby yarn, which is more foresty, which kind of gives it, well, there goes the ball. Hopefully you saw that. But yeah, that kind of gives it like a more textured look because I wanted my chicken to have texture. For the stripe, I'm using a blue, a gray, and a little, I don't know where it went, but I'm using a blue, a gray, and a lace navy alpaca for the stripe here, the seam, and then the other stripe. And then for the head, I'm using these 3 combination. So it's again what are these? So this is a Turkish yarn. This is Sandnes Garn Duo. And then this is a Ancient Yarns. Oh my God, it's the teal I used for this exact cowl. So this is the cowl by Andrea Mowry. It's supposed to be the rad plaid. But anyways, it was for this exact cowl, except I swapped some of the colors around. So instead of having thicker square, this one is more like a little gingham, yeah, it's supposed to be gingham. And mine is more little squares of white, brown, and then this little color right here. So that was my little knitting outing. I currently right now have to go to an appointment. So I'm gonna go do that. Actually, I need to run. And maybe hopefully today we can catch up and knit more because I also realized I made a mistake on this. I did increases a little bit too early, so I had to rip back. So one of my cubes is currently shorter than the other, and I would love to get further on that one. This is possibly the funniest thing I've ever knit in my life, and it's coming together so well. I sadly won't be able to finish it tonight though because I don't have stuffing and I don't have the eyes. I completely forgot about that. You need little, I think they're called safety eyes, and you need to put that on before you can do the stuffing, do the bottom lining, and sew it all up. And then you can add the little gobble. I think it's called a gobble. So I think I'm gonna knit the flap for the bottom tonight. But then we're gonna stop it here and maybe go on to a different type of knit. But honestly, also in case you're wondering, it is currently 8:30 on Tuesday. So my knitting is going by slower than I would like it to. Okay, hello. So it's Thursday and it is currently 2:06 p.m. I had wanted to film this a little bit earlier, at least for today, because yesterday I feel like I didn't get that much knitting done. I did edit a video. Also, the knitting I did yesterday kind of didn't really, at least during the day, didn't really work out. So for the second sock like this, I accidentally had picked up not enough stitches along the side of the leg. So basically the decreases, I ended up decreasing too quickly because I didn't pick up enough stitches on the side, which meant that it wasn't matching up or syncing up with this sock, and then it would have been a lot smaller on my foot. So I just decided to go back, and I am currently reworking it now. I did, on the flip side, finish my chicken. So I have the little gobble piece, I have the extra piece over there for the little chin, I have the underbelly lining flap, and the whole chicken. So for this one now, I just need to go get the buttons, which I'm gonna try to do on Saturday because the fabric store is closed on Sunday, and during the week they close I think at 5 p.m. I go to Dress Sue here downtown Vancouver. It's like it's a bit of a walk, but it's worth it. They have so many buttons and so many different arts and crafts and like sewing options. So if you're ever in Vancouver, I highly recommend you stop on by. The buttons are in the basement, but honestly, it's like rows and rows of buttons and zippers, and it's very intimidating. But something else that I've been working on over the past couple of days is actually my blouse. I am almost about to connect the front and the back, and then I think I need to add stitches for the armholes, and then it's just like continuous knitting in the round. There's some increases I need to do soon, but this is knitting up really, really quickly. Last Wednesday had a knitting meetup, my first one in North Vancouver, because I made a mistake at the knitting meetup and I only realized once I got home. So I then restarted it. So basically we are Thursday. So I kind of started it last Thursday. Yeah, so in a week I will have done this much. It's pretty amazing. This is using 9mm needles, US 9, 5.5mm needles, and it's a pretty loose gauge with like a lot of air in the fabric, but I guess that's what kind of makes it so floaty and effortless. And there are yarn overs and knit two togethers to create this kind of textured band every couple of rows. So it is a little bit quicker to knit up than like a 4mm stockinette stitch. Last night, basically, I knit the whole back panel. So this section from the shoulder connection while watching TV after my dinner. So hopefully we'll see by, when did I start this video? I started it on Monday. So we'll see by next Monday, well, by Sunday night, how much I can actually get going. And then after this one, I'm pretty sure I'm going to start some summer knitting. Whatever I have on the needles is kind of going to go on hold so I can get some tank tops done. That was a good little break. I am actually still working right now. It is my lunch break, but I did just want to take some time after eating, catch up with you guys on what my week is looking like so far. Oh, my coffee. I just wanted to take the time before I check into work, have my little morning coffee with you guys. Today I am wearing my Monica Geller tee under my overalls. This is a pattern based off one of the t-shirts Monica Geller wears in Friends, and it's a pattern on Ravelry, and I knit it in Noro Khaki Gory, which is a really big skein of Noro yarn. I think the one skein runs you like 630 meters or yards. I'm wearing it because this will be the last day that this shirt exists. I have actually found the leftover skein that I had from this original skein, and basically my plan is to completely unravel it because I don't wear this shirt. I knit this shirt maybe 2 years ago now. It's a cute shirt, but it's not one I gravitate towards, not one I wear that often, and this yarn is so beautiful and such a fun color. I think it would do me service to unravel it and maybe knit up something else. In the past, I remember showing you guys this yarn, which is a yarn I got from Knit Crate. It's a braided or cabled yarn. I have 2 skeins of this. This one's caked up. And I didn't know what to do with it, but someone suggested that I knit up the sole top, and I absolutely love that pattern. And I was considering knitting the sole top in this pink yarn, although I don't know, this pink is just so pink. So when I was looking at the sole top on Ravelry, thinking about maybe casting it on with this little pink yarn, I came across someone who actually knit it in Noro Khaki Gory, and they used up about 1 skein because I think the pattern calls for 620 or 30 yards. Thought I had thrown this out or something in the move because I knit this at my old apartment. I thought I had lost this. Now I'm torn if I knit it in pink, knit it in Noro Khaki Gory, unravel this, make that its own project, its own video. Or for some weird reason lately, I've also been contemplating streaming, maybe doing a little live stream. I'm thinking about, okay, so this is just an idea. And let me know if you guys would be interested. What I'm thinking is maybe selecting the sole top or selecting a pattern that is more or less like stockinette knitting, a little bit easy, and doing it together only on the live stream. So I'm not going to knit it like on my spare time. I would only do it during the stream, and then we'll see how long that takes. Depending on how it goes, I would also need to move my desk here, because right now my desk is in the office with my boyfriend, and he games, and it gets kind of loud sometimes, so I think it would be best to move my desk here, which would mean a new setup, which could mean a new office setup video. I don't know. And I thought that would be fun. Maybe we could get our own little community going and maybe have our own little knitting time, working time. I don't know, I thought that would be fun to maybe just get to know you guys on a more personal level, because what I'm realizing is this is a very one-way street. I talk to you guys like will comment stuff, but there's not much back and forth. If you guys want to join, you can. If you can't make it, no pressure. I think we would start this very low key. I would need time to rearrange my layout though, just in advance. So I don't know how quick up and running I can get this. So let me know in the comment section if that's something you guys would be interested in. But all that to say, I'm torn between casting on the Noro Kakigori or casting on the sole top with this pink. And since I'm going to Italy in 3 weeks, I would love to have a summer knit to bring with me. So then I would love to use this yarn and potentially cast on this top, but switch it up, modify the pattern, and make it like this petite knit pattern. The secret top is a free pattern. I've knit it before. I like it, but what I would want to do to kind of make it like the petite knit pattern. So the pattern has the option to have it with the increases because it's a bottom up knit. And I think I'm going to do it without the increases, but knit a size up. So I'm thinking about knitting a size medium, so it is a little bit looser of a fit, more boxy fit. I'm thinking about not doing a rib, or maybe just doing a very simple cast off, like cast on, and then just knit stockinette from there. Just modifying that a little bit. And then I'm thinking maybe starting the armholes a little bit lower than the pattern indicates. So those are the 3 modifications. Instead of having it start right here, I would just start it a little bit lower. I think I exaggerated right there. I am thinking about using Yarn Art, this black yarn for it. It kind of has like a little shine to it because it is cotton, and where's the label? It is 70% cotton, 30% viscose. This is the yarn that I used for my headband, the Petaluma kerchief. Good morning, it's Saturday. I just came back from the store. I picked up some stuffed toy stuffing. Funny enough, when I went, there was a lady who was asking the exact same question if they had the safety doll eyes, and they didn't. They only had googly eyes, which I don't want googly eyes on my chicken. So I ended up picking up some buttons, which I think will work really well if I sew them on tight enough. I got 10mm and 13. The pattern does recommend 15, but I didn't have my chicken with me, and just looking at them thought that 15 would be way too big. Sew the undersection to the body, starting at the top where the arrows are pictured. Stuff well, and sew the rest of the... Okay, but I can't be the only one as I'm making this who thinks, what if you turn this into a chicken hat? No? No? So the head is sewn on. It seamed up at the front, and then the eyes have been sewn on, which honestly for buttons, these are pretty nice. They don't like flop around. I did sew them on really, really tightly on the inside so that it really like is anchored in there. And now I just have to sew the belly flap here at the bottom, which I'm realizing I could have totally done the belly flap a different color, but oh well, it would have been interesting, but oh well. So yeah, so I just need to sew this on. I think you sew a good chunk and then you can start stuffing, and then you finalize the sewing on, and then there's like an extra little piece to add here. I'm almost done with my chicken, which is very, very exciting. I just need to knit up the little gobble at the bottom. I think it's called waddle, the gobble, the little, I always forget the name, but however, you are getting darker. I actually have to step out for a little bit. So hopefully we can come back and do that, and then I can give you guys the reveal of the chicken. So the top is the comb and the bottom is the waddle. So for the waddle, I just took out the 3 skeins that I'm using. I'm kind of holding them together. It is a 2 fingering weights and then a DK weight. So that's basically like a 12 wraps per inch, which is too thick, but it'll just be a thicker waddle. That's what I did for the top of the head here, the little red one. That's what I did. I kind of just like having all the colors mash up together. I find the texture really nice. I am 99.999% certain I will be getting a migraine, or I am getting one. So I just took an Advil, just ran real quick. But I did want to show you before I continue with the waddle. As I was out downtown with friends, I just went and got some lunch, and then that turned into a full thing. But anyways, I basically knit the leg of the sock. So I just have to do the toe decreases. So hopefully after I knit this waddle, attach it to my chicken, I can finish my sock and finish 2 knits in a week, when I thought that this video wasn't going too well. Or I thought that, not that the video wasn't going too well, but I thought that I wasn't knitting that much this weekend or this week. Sorry, my eyes. I have migraines with aura, so I see like little dots everywhere. Sometimes I can't tell if it's just like the time of the day when the sun is setting and everything becomes a little bit more pixelated, or if it's like, I think I'm getting one. But then if I focus on it, then it actually does come. So we're just gonna power through. I took the Advil. You got this, eyes. You got this. It's funny. It's like everything becomes kind of crystal clear. It's like, yeah, they're on a regular day-to-day basis. There's like a filter on everything. And right before I get a migraine, everything is clear. There's no more like depth perception. And then I start to see the little swirl. It's just like a weird, different shift in vision. I don't know. But yeah. So slips up knit, knit all, slips up knit, cut yarn and fasten off, leaving, what?
I've seen these videos, but I've never gotten to taste the exquisite secondhand cuisine that Europe has to offer. So this week, we're gonna...
Hi! So it is now Sunday and it is raining here, very gloomy. This challenge is kind of over. I actually have to go hang out with friends. Well, not have to, but I'm actually gonna go hang out with some friends today. So I don't really think I'm gonna get too much knitting done. So I kind of wanted to do this before that. This week was actually a lot of fun. I'm really glad I did this because it did get me back into the little knitting mojo, the little habit of knitting almost every day. I try and knit every day. The week started off a little bit slow, but I feel like we kind of really picked up as the days went on, and especially yesterday, I got a lot done. So I did manage to finish the sock yesterday. I think when we left off, I was maybe at the toe and I had to do the toe decreases and seam it up. So I now have a finished pair of socks, which is always exciting, always lovely. These socks probably took me about 2 months to knit up. One thing I did have to do, especially yesterday, as I was knitting up the foot, break the yarn and pull it to the next color so I can get to the next color sooner. Because for some weird reason, the first one was knit, I think this is the first one, yeah. This one was knit on double pointed needles, and this one I finished it, worked it up on my Chiagu circular needles. And I think I went through the colors a lot slower on the Chiagu, even though I was doing the exact same row gauge and the exact same. So I think when it comes to washing and blocking it, if I do it on the same stitch, on the same sock blockers, they should be the same. You can kind of see here. So one red bar is bigger than the other, and that's just because I pulled it there and then skipped to the blue earlier to get it to line up again at the toe. Basically, we started off the week at this red line for the sock. So in 1 week, I kind of knit the heel turn, and then the foot and the toe. So I think that was pretty productive. Speaking of finished knits, I did also manage to finish my chicken. I sewed in her butt, stuffed it, and she is now beautiful. I just need a name for her, and I'm not entirely sure what to name her. So if you have any name recommendations, I don't know, let me know. Or if you have knit this beautiful, lovely chicken, there's also a crochet option available on Ravelry. And I saw someone even made, I think it's a bikini for the chicken. So there's like, people are making little add-on knitting projects. I think the bra is free. It's like a bikini bra or something. I'm gonna put a picture right here, but I thought that was so funny, and maybe I might make one, who knows. Yeah, if you knit a chicken, let me know, because this pattern has been booming all over Instagram, and I'm so happy I finally have my own. This is possibly the funniest knit I have made so far, I think, in my 4 years now of knitting. I have more than enough stuffing to make another one, and I have a lot more spare random colored yarns, so maybe I can make her a partner in crime of a different color. So if you have a bunch of scraps that you don't know what to do with, make a chicken. Why not? Oh, by the way, before I put her away, I started the week at the little change of blue in her head right here. So I did the head, did the beak, the wattle. No, this is the wattle. This is the comb. I'm gonna get it one day. And the little belly flap. And then got the stuffing, stuffed her, sewed her, and yeah, that's pretty much it. In the end, I did have to rip back since I last talked to you guys for the Felice blouse. So I didn't do too much on this one. I ripped back because I messed up before connecting the back panel. At the very end of the back panel, I messed up the yarn over and knit twos, and I was 1 stitch off. So the design, so this bar design was just shifted by 1 stitch. So I had to rip back what I knit in the round when connecting the front and the back, rework the back panel, and then reconnect in the round. So this is where the armhole is. So I now have about 1 inch, maybe a little bit more than 1 inch connected and knit up in the round. I would try it on, but these needles are a little bit tight for that. I'm really, really sorry. It's getting very dark out. It's raining really hard. So hopefully this is manageable footage or viewable footage. And to think about it, at the beginning of the week, I just had like the front panel before connecting the 2 front panels. So in 1 week, I knit this whole portion, the entire back, connected it in the round, and yeah, along with a chicken and a sock. And I'm super excited to get it done, but I'm now realizing that by the time this shirt is gonna be done, it's been getting warmer, not today, but it's been getting warmer here. So it'll most likely be an unwearable knit till the fall. Maybe I should start casting on summer knits. So I think in the end, that was actually kind of a really successful week. This was honestly such a good idea to get me back into the little knitting habit of knitting every day, because I did take a little bit of a break. I was a lot more productive than I thought I would be, but also this challenge, seeing how much I could get done, kind of got me excited to push it a little bit more without actually like forcing myself to knit or just having an expectation that I needed to finish a project by the end of the week. So I didn't end up hurting my hands. I didn't end up really forcing myself. If I got knitting done that day, that was great. And if I didn't, that was also great. It was kind of just more for fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this type of video. I hope you guys got some crafting done, some knitting done, maybe some painting, who knows. And I hope you guys stick around, maybe watch another one, come back next week. Hope you guys have a lovely, beautiful day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.